Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about should the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sign Tyrone Matthew in this upcoming free agency. So, like I said, in today's video we're going to be talking about should the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sign Tyrone Matthew. He was formerly with the Arizona Cardinals and Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles and all those other people that are currently on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers staff. He was then released by the Arizona Cardinals, went to the Houston Texans on a one-year, $7 million deal, but now that contract is up. So, should he reunite with Bruce Arians, Todd Bowles, and join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Well, let's talk about it. Obviously, the first thing that we need to talk about is Tyrone Matthews' relationship with Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles. And not just, well, you know, Tyrone Matthew, he's played in the scheme before, so he knows exactly how to do things in Todd Bowles' defense and Bruce Arians' schemes and whatnot. No, taking it farther than that, about his personal relationship with both of the guys. Actually, fun fact, Tyrone Matthew dated Todd Bowles' daughter for a time, but taking that aside and focusing a little bit more on Tyrone Matthews' relationship with Bruce Arians, it goes a whole lot deeper, okay? Tyrone Matthew has a ton of respect and a ton of love for Bruce Arians, not just as a head coach or just a coach in general, but as a person, you know, as a human being. I think that Tyrone Matthew really does see Bruce Arians as a little bit of a father figure in his life, because back whenever the draft was going on a few years ago and Tyrone Matthew applied for the draft, a lot of teams weren't comfortable drafting him because of his personal issues outside of the field. A lot of people thought that he had character concerns and they didn't want to take the risk of drafting him until Bruce Arians came along. And Bruce Arians said, I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to give you the playing time. I'm going to treat you like a star. You know, those character issues, forget about them. You're going to be one of our best guys. And point blank, you know, Tyrone Matthew was one of the best guys on that Arizona Cardinals defense for a long time. He was one of the, you know, young up-and-coming free safeties for a long time. He developed the nickname the Honey Badger. They made a lot of memes about him. Things were going really good in Arizona. Then Bruce Arians left. And right after Bruce Arians left, you could tell that Tyrone Matthew, he just really didn't have that great of a connection with the Arizona Cardinals anymore after Bruce Arians and his whole staff left. The connection that was once there wasn't there as much anymore. So he was eventually released, joined up with the Houston Texans the year that Bruce Arians was out of football. I guarantee you if Bruce Arians was still coaching, whatever team Bruce Arians was going to, Tyrone Matthews' contract, I guarantee you if they still would have released him, Tyrone Matthew would have went wherever Bruce Arians went. So, you know, it's pretty fair to say that, you know, Tyrone Matthew has a ton of love for Bruce Arians, ton of respect for Bruce Arians, and their connection is very well cemented as a ton of love and respect. So that's a very big positive thing to try and lure Tyrone Matthew here to Tampa Bay. Taking that part out of it, you know, Tyrone Matthew would, again, he'd be another great fit. Like I said earlier, he would be a wonderful, wonderful fit for this Buccaneers defense and what new things are going on with Todd Bowles and what he's doing, because, of course, you know, Tyrone Matthew, he's worked with Todd Bowles before, so, of course, that's the obvious point of how it would make sense. But I really think that Tyrone Matthew could add a really nice touch of leadership to this secondary position. Brent Grimes, he's probably going to be gone, and with Tyrone Matthew coming in, he's actually going to figure to be one of the older members of this Buccaneers secondary whenever you factor in Vernon Hargreaves, he's in his early 20s, Carlton Davis, MJ Stewart, Justin Evans, Jordan Whitehead, Isaiah Johnson, all these other players, they're all in their very early 20s. Tyrone Matthew, he's 26, he's still incredibly young and he can still play for, you know, arguably another 5, 6, 7 years, but he's still probably the oldest one out of the bunch, I believe. So that's going to be very valuable in terms of bringing in a quality of leadership and bringing in a guy who has knowledge of the system and can teach some of these other young defensive backs the system and kind of get it into their brains for not just this upcoming season, but for the future seasons as well. And, you know, like we've all been saying, secondary is a huge need for the Buccaneers, especially at the safety position. Now, I'm not knocking Jordan Whitehead. I still love Jordan Whitehead. I think he's awesome. But, you know, getting Tyrone Matthews, that would be huge. That'd be a huge, huge move for the secondary, not just as a safety, but he is known to play a little bit of cornerback. So you know, you can move him around a little bit. You can see what you have. You can get the best lineup for your secondary and really make things work. So again, it just seems like the perfect fit. You know, it really does seem like the perfect fit. He has the connection with Bruce Arians. He has the connection with Todd Bowles. He knows the defense. He can be a young but still older mentor to all of these super young Buccaneers defensive backs for many years to come. You know, it seems like a slam dunk move. Yes, the Buccaneers are a little bit strapped for cash and whatnot, but I would gladly give Tyrone Matthews $7+ million a season easily. You know, this seems like a very slam dunk move. What's the problem? Well, the problem is that he might re-sign with the Houston Texans. Played his one season away from the Arizona Cardinals with the Houston Texans on a 1-year, $7 million contract. That contract has run out, but while Tyrone Matthew was in Houston, he actually did a pretty darn decent job there, and he seemed to have enjoyed himself in Houston a whole heck of a lot. I mean, he did go to the playoffs after all. That is something that any player would want, so I can see the appeal for bringing back Tyrone Matthew to Houston. I'm sure they're going to offer him as much money as they offered him in his first contract, if not more. So really, the only few couple of ways that the Buccaneers can lure Tyrone Matthew away from the Houston Texans is to flex the relationship that Tyrone Matthew has with Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians. I mean, also flex in the fact that the state of Florida has some pretty nice tax situations going on, so that's a pretty appealing thing as well. And also factoring into the matter that they can give him just as much money as the Houston Texans are willing to give him, and he can have a very big role on this defense and truly be an overall leader on this defense 100%. You know, that's kind of a few of the things that the Buccaneers can say to lure Tyrone Matthew away from the Houston Texans. Me personally, I think that the Buccaneers have a really decent shot of getting Tyrone Matthew, and specifically I saw one guy say, who I trust a whole heck of a lot on Twitter, he said that he fully expects the Buccaneers to have Tyrone Matthew by the 2019-2020 season, so I'm going to go with that logic. Me personally, I think Tyrone Matthew is going to be a Buccaneer for this upcoming season, but let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. Do you think Tyrone Matthew is going to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And if he doesn't, who would you rather have at the safety position? I mean, this safety free agency class is absolutely loaded, okay? It's absolutely loaded. There's a ton of quality safeties in there. So if the Buccaneers don't get Tyrone Matthew, that would be very unfortunate. He's my top pick, but there's a lot of decent options out there if we aren't able to get him. But let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're new. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream, but until then, and as always, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.